is Jay. I'm the owner of Evolution Brand Clothing. First off, thank you very much for tuning into Evo TV. Second off, if you could, please hit the subscribe button as well as drop a like. I would definitely appreciate it. And also, today is Saturday, one of my favorite days of the week, because a lot of times Nike is dropping new sneakers, as you can see right behind me. So congratulations to anybody that hit on the sneakers this Saturday. We had a lot of nice releases, so hopefully you're able to cop something. But this video here isn't about sneakers. This video is going into something way more important. Just to kind of get straight into it, I posted a Facebook status in a group, kind of just talking about my brand, asking people like, hey, if you have a chance, check us out, drop a like, yada yada yada. Cool, great. A guy hit me back up and he's like, hey, if you could, I kind of want to talk to you about some different business ideas I have. So me, I'm always down to talk business. I'm always down to help people, as you already know. And because with that, I can help him with different stuff and teach him different stuff that I've learned, and different stuff that he may find out. He can come back and teach me what he's learned as well. So it's a mutual agreement in a sense. That's the way I always think about business and knowledge and things of that sort. I'm definitely not a stingy person when it comes to sharing things. So if you have any questions, as I told you in the previous or in the first video, hey, just message me. Simple as that. But we're gonna get back to it. So with this guy, hit me up. He did a little short message, said he had to go, no big deal. Next day, he follows up again, which normally people don't do. Normally people hit you up and be like, hey, yada yada yada, whatever, and they never follow back up. But this guy hit me up a second day in a row, and then hit me up a third day in a row. Third day, he's like, hey, can I give you a call? Of course, give me a call. Pretty much, I don't always have time to talk on the phone or do whatever, but if I do have time, by all means, I will definitely talk to you and try to help in any way that I can. But with that being said, we pretty much talked about a lot of different stuff. He wanted to start a business, but he was kind of like how I was when I was a lot younger. He had all these different ideas, great ideas, but he just really didn't know how to put them into action, I guess you can say. He had read a lot of books on it, which I highly recommend reading books on certain stuff that you're interested in, so that way you can kind of know what you're getting yourself into ahead of time. But he had all these different ideas. One was he wanted to one day be a business owner, open a bar. He wanted to get into real estate. He wanted to open up a non-profit organization kind of thing for kids in the neighborhood that he's from and different stuff like that. He wanted to be a barber, just different stuff. He had a lot of different great ideas, but all these ideas, if there's no direction on how to get to them, then obviously, as a lot of you know, then it's just gonna stay as ideas. So I was kind of trying to help him when I spoke with him, kind of put this all into steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and so on. And that pretty much brings me to what we're gonna be talking about here today. I pretty much have 5, I guess you can say, steps or processes on how to take all your ideas and put them into action. Okay, so step number 1, before anything else, this is always step number 1. As I previously mentioned in short, do your research. Do your research. Do your research. I cannot say that enough. But some people, they just kind of want to go and just start dumping money into something and going for it, and it's it works out every once in a while, but usually you're throwing money towards stuff that you probably ain't even got to, or there's a lot better ways to start this process. I've done that. I've been the one to throw money at something without knowing what I was doing, and in the end, it ended up just being thrown away money. But do your research. We have the internet at our disposal. Look up on forums, talk to people, read books, anything you can to get a better grasp of knowledge on the ins and outs, so you can actually know physically, is this something that I want to do? Is it something I want to wait on? Is it something I even have interest in? A lot of us find ourselves doing stuff, and after a year, 2 years, whatever the case might be, it's man, I'm kind of tired of this. So think about that as well. Think about the long term. So once again, do your research. That's number one. Number two, once you've done your research to find out if it's actually something you want to do or truly have interest in, then start stimulating your mind. Take the research you've done, a little bit of kind of skimming the surface research you've done, and put that into gaining more mental knowledge on the ins and outs. This can come also just by browsing the internet, finding what other people have done. I highly recommend getting books in the area that you're looking at, preferably books that are newer, more modern, because depending on what you're doing, things do change a lot. And if you're working on something that's, current, and you're reading a book that's really old, it might have a little bit of, I'm not saying it's not good, but it could just be a little bit more outdated on some things. So try to find more recent books that have good knowledge and kind of go from there. Read as much as you can. But whenever it comes to reading, this gentleman that I was speaking with, he had this same issue, and I've been there before as well. I always say to read, but don't get overwhelmed. What I mean when I say that is when you read a lot, you like just boom, 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 smashing out books. How much are you actually going to retain? The majority of people retain knowledge by physically doing. So only read, as many books as your mind can kind of comprehend, enough to get you started. Once you actually start getting more into it, okay, let me read a little bit more advanced books and go from there. But if you just read a whole bunch of books, you're kind of just spinning your wheels in a sense. Because you're getting all this knowledge. I highly doubt the fifth book that you're reading, you're going to remember what happened in the first book that you're reading. You might remember the gist, but you don't remember all of it. So that's kind of the second step there. Maintain the knowledge, or get the knowledge through books, through more research, more detailed research, but don't get overwhelmed with it. Don't get overwhelmed. That's the key. A lot of people get stressed out, but that's something that you have to control. It's a lot easier said than done. We'll get into that on another episode of UOTV, but just don't get overwhelmed. Number three, or the third thing, once you kind of got more knowledge in it, try to find a resource. So for example, if you're looking at getting into real estate, find a realtor that doesn't mind actually working with you. I'm really big on human connection and personal growth. So if I'm looking for a certain something, then I'm going to try to find that person that's willing to just talk to me. They're not asking for any money. They're not asking for anything out of the ordinary. They're just willing to be personable with me on this particular subject. And a lot of times those people are just good people in general. You can learn stuff that you didn't even realize you needed from them. Just being 100% honest. But find yourself a mentor. Find yourself somebody that's willing to just talk to you as a human being. Tell them what you're trying to do. Obviously you don't want to just come out hey, can you help me? I need this, I need that. Don't be too crazy, because if people look at you kind of whoa. But just come with them, be hey, I'm trying to do this, and I was wondering if you could help me with that. You can find mentors many different ways. Facebook, social media, following different people on social media, because the same people that you follow that have a good following, it's going to probably be a bunch of other people following them that you can potentially connect with that may have more time to kind of talk with you. Even if it's not somebody that's super high up or way ahead of you, even if the person is one or two rungs ahead of you, they still have more knowledge than yourself. So there's no reason why they can't teach you different stuff, and combine your minds together and kind of grow from there. But that's step three pretty much. Find a mentor, find somebody that can potentially help you kind of elevate your mind in that area. As well as hands-on experience is always great. If you're wanting to be a realtor or whatever, if you have a realtor you can follow, they can show you how to, do a home showing. They can let you kind of sit with them maybe while they're writing up a contract or doing this or doing that. That is fantastic. So once you kind of got a little bit more hands-on experience into what you're looking at doing, everything takes money. It's just that simple. I wish we could just trade leaves and call it a day or whatever the case might be. But in the world we live in, everything takes money. If you want to be a realtor, you you got to go to realtor school, whether it be online or whether it be an actual physical class setting. If you want to be a barber, you got to go to barber college. You got to, get a certification. If you want to be a plumber, you got to go to, plumbing school, get your HVAC certification, whatever the case might be, whatever you want to get into. But you have to raise capital to get yourself started. This is I guess you can say, the easy part. People are giving out money left and right for all different things, but it may require some footwork on your part to find out the best way how to come up with money for you. Some people, you may have, grandma and grandpa, they might be wanting to help you or willing to help you. That's the easiest source of funds. I'm not saying to just go and be like, hey, grandma, I need $1,000. No, but some people's family is like that. Some other people, you might have some pretty decent credit. So, hey, you can go out and take out a little loan. The next person, you might, have some money saved up from something you did in the past. Hey, invest it into yourself, invest it into your future. So that is step number 4. That's the easy part. Like I said, people are always giving out loans. Most of the programs or different things that regard some kind of class or schooling, they a lot of times even have loans set up, but you have to go and talk to them and see like, hey, do y'all have any loans available for XYZ? So that's the kind of the easiest part of all of this, creating the capital. Obviously, depending on what you're trying to do, you may have to create more capital than other things. But I'm assuming you're gonna be, on an even ballpark level. So if you're trying to buy a multi-million-dollar, apartment unit or something, obviously you don't just stumble across it overnight. So you get what I'm saying? Be on the level. Don't try to do nothing crazy, because you might have a little bit of problem creating that capital. But if you're doing something that makes sense for where your level is, then you should be good. But now we have step number 5. Step number 5 is the most important step. Step number 5 is the part that people forget. Step number 5 is what people, they never reach. That's right, step number 5, the most important thing. This is the step that people never get to. They go through step number 1, go through step number 2, go through step number 3. But then this is where the psyche kicks in and it says, oh my God, I can't do it. Step number 5, like Nike says, just do it. Simple as that. I love Nike sneakers, and they have the best slogan ever, because it pretty much, it defines life. A lot of us get caught up in saying what we can do, forgetting about all the things that we've done, forgetting about all the abilities we have, forgetting about all the skills that we have, forgetting about all the things that other people have done. The same people you're saying, oh man, I could do that. That when you're watching TV, you can do that. Don't just say it, do it. Only difference between you and that person is that they just did it, and you're sitting there watching them. It is what it is. But step number 5, like I said, is the most important. A lot of us get caught up in that mindset and get overwhelmed, but you just have to keep your eyes on the prize, stay focused, stay true to you, and have patience. Key word there, patience, patience, patience. And it'll come in time, I'm telling you. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I gotta say on Evo TV episode 2. Also, to add just a tiny hint to that, with this is kind of just a very simple format. I just wanted to, like I said, encourage you. Somebody needs to hear this and kind of just to get up and go for what they want to go towards. But just to add a little bit on, please make informed decisions. If you make an informed decision, you can't be mad at yourself if it failed. Because at the end of the day, you had all the calculations right. A failure can also be your greatest accomplishment in a sense. Because if you never fail doing it the way that you did it, you'll never know how to do it. Simple as that. But that is the end of Evo TV episode 2. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please, please, please follow us on, never mind, it's that way. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Evo, spelled EV0_brand. Obviously, check out the gear at evobrandclothing.com. And we will highly appreciate your support with dropping a like and subscribing to this channel. But I am signing out. My name is Jay, and y'all have a good weekend.